Well, let's get started. Hi, everybody. I'm Fiona Nott. I'm CEO of the Women's Foundation, which is an NGO dedicated to improving the lives of women and girls here in Hong Kong. We do that through groundbreaking research, innovative and impactful community programs, education and advocacy. And this topic of advancing female entrepreneurs and purpose-driven business is very close to our heart. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be here today to moderate this session and really dive into the transformative power of purpose-driven entrepreneurship for women. So with me, we have three incredible women, and I'd like to formally introduce them. First of all, we have Megan Lam, who's co-founder, Neurum Health, and executive director of Kelly Support Group. Megan is also a neuroscientist and clinical psychologist. She utilizes artificial intelligence to democratize psychological care through personalized solutions. Welcome, Megan. Then we have Maya Lin, who's Deputy Managing Director, Cartier Hong Kong. With more than 20 years' experience in the luxury industry, Maya joined Cartier in 2007, where she made significant contributions to the development of high jewelry in Asia. Welcome, Maya. And finally, we have Queenie Man, who's the founder and CEO of the Project Futurists, where she's on a mission to redefine how society supports its older citizens and its aging population, empowering seniors to embrace their golden years with dignity and purpose. Please join me in welcoming our panelists. Wonderful. Okay, let's get started. Megan and Queenie, I'd like to start with both of you to talk about really your journeys. Tell us how you each started your businesses, and how does your personal mission, your personal values align with the purpose and goals of your business? So, Megan, I'll start with you.
Sure. Thank you, Fiona. Thank you for having me, Prestige. So Neurum started because I lost far too many loved ones to suicide and really struggled with my own mental health struggles as well. And I realized that I wasn't alone. There are 970 million people worldwide who are also struggling with their mental health. Now, the difference is that each and every single one of us that is sitting in the audience and up here right now, and all of Landmark, we're all unique. So we have to make sure that our care is as unique as we are, because our care journeys are very personal. But we also wanted to make sure that as much as we can use technology to personalize that care, that people also feel comfortable and confident in accessing that care, especially if it's a topic that isn't necessarily so talked about and still has some stigma shrouding around it. So that's why for our values, we really focus on things like inclusive design. So regardless of your background or your language, that you're still able to feel like a sense of belonging when you access mental health care. Scientific research and AI, of course, to understand our patterns in our mental health, and being able to recommend the right care at the right time, really on your terms.
Amazing, thank you. And so timely that you're covering, mental health and really bringing your own personal values in there. Thank you. Queenie, how about you?
Yes, so a little bit about myself. I think, so before I joined the elder care industry, I was actually a former brand consultant. And I joined the elder care industry about 7 years ago. The first thing I did when I joined was I had to visit a lot of elderly homes to find out, how elders are doing. And the one thing that really struck me the most is during the meal times, they struggle a lot, especially for those who suffer from swallowing difficulties. They, if you have ever been to an elderly home in Hong Kong, usually meal times, it's very quiet. Elders are seated alone, eating by themselves, eating from a bowl of blended puree food, which you have no idea what it is made of or what flavor it is. And the one thing that we all look forward to, meal times, is usually the one thing that creates the most anticipation, but it is also the one thing that creates most disappointment among elders with swallowing difficulties. So it really struck me as in there's so much more we could do. Hong Kong is such a resource-rich city, and we're experiencing rapid aging. And we always feel like, there's still so many opportunities to restore dignity for the elders, to really bring them joy of dining. So that's why when I started my company, The Project Futurist, we also had this mascot called Captain Soft Meal, where I dress up as Captain Soft Meal herself. And we really wanted to raise awareness on this issue because having, the right food texture and right nutrition is so important. It sounds so basic, but I feel like there's so much more we could do, and that is why we wanted to create a change. We wanted to change the narrative of aging and really help elders to be respected and to hear their voices.
Amazing. I love how both of you are changing the narrative. You're shedding light to issues around elder care, it's so topical, and mental health. That's incredible through your businesses. I wanted to turn to some of the challenges that female entrepreneurs face and get your perspectives, and also bring in Maya into this conversation as well. Because a study by Boston Consulting Group found that women-led companies yield better returns on investment, generating 35% higher ROI than companies led by men. Okay, that's incredible. That's amazing. And that's just one study, and there's dozens of studies that really are showing that the same conclusion, that women founders outperform their male peers. However, on the other side, I think we all have heard and know that women-led startups raised only 2.8% of all venture capital funding globally. So there's this huge disconnect. So just with that, I guess that backdrop and that context, I'd like to understand your varying perspectives on what are the main challenges facing female entrepreneurs, and what are some of the ways that you all are, and we can all sort of navigate through that. So again, I'll start with Megan and Queenie. What are some of the challenges that you faced in balancing purpose and profitability in your business, and how do you address some of those challenges? Megan, yeah?
Well, I think it's it actually was never a question of balancing either one or either one. I think for us, like really shared value, we firmly believe, why not build a business? Why not build a business that could also generate measurable good that lasts for good at the same time? It was never really an issue for us to think about it as mutually exclusive. But I think, mind you, like there's a bias because we're in the tech industry, first and foremost. But really, a challenge for us was attracting the kind of investors that understood the value of social impact, as opposed to typical tech growth indicators, and also ones on personal value as well. I've shared this story before, but like investors that saw my previous engagement ring and asking me to redo my financial modeling to also account for the scenario that what if I got pregnant, or in the next 3 to 5 years, do I as a CEO pose as a risk or a financial risk for their investments? So finding the right kind of investors was I think a big challenge for us. But I think how we went around that and the solution around that was, I think, being unwavering, having integrity in terms of what your values are and having a compass for that, and making sure that everyone on the team is also on board with that. But also being able to look into impact measurement and lining that up with ROI and ROE has also been important. So we do have numbers exactly like that to kind of reflect back to investors.
Yeah, fantastic, thank you. Queenie?
Yes, I always get the same question because, in fact, it is really hard to balance profitability and purpose. For us as social entrepreneur or social impact designers, purpose and passion always comes first. And for us, we face so many challenges. Similar to a lot of the NGOs or social impact designers, I think one issue is that we lack the resource to scale up. So that we can still operate something that we're so passionate about, but requires, resources like any other companies. And unlike traditional companies where the purpose is really to maximize shareholder value, for us, it's really to create the right amount of impact with the least amount of resource to help those in need. So for us as a social entrepreneur, we really try to prioritize what we can do. We try to maximize our impact using the least resources. We try to do as much engagement and collaboration with the right partners. And I guess for all the social entrepreneurs, whether here present or with Megan, Maya, I think it's important that we have this network or platform that allows us to, count on each other and really to help us network and be able to have the resource to help us scale up in a way that is sustainable, so that we can continue to pursue that passion and purpose going forward.
Yeah, Queenie, I'm just a little shout out to Queenie, because what Queenie's talking about is what she does for everyone else. So she's a real connector. She's a real node for that.
It's amazing. Yeah, I mean, you're both really leading the way in Hong Kong, and just known for connecting. So congratulations on everything that you're both achieving. And Maya, I want to bring you in because the CER Womens Initiative has been supporting women's entrepreneurship since 2006. So what inspired its creation? Tell us a bit more about it.
Certainly. Well, women has always played a vital role at Cartier, and I believe we should be one of the first luxury house in this world to truly recognize the importance to support women impact entrepreneurs like Megan and Queenie here. And since 2006, that's why Cartier established a program, CWI, CER Womens Initiative. It's to drive meaningful change for women impact entrepreneurs.
Amazing. And I think you're going to have are you going to share a video with us?
If I may, I'd like to present a short video which can give you a better idea what CWI stands for and our mission. Thank you.
Wow.
I hope the video provided a deeper understanding of our mission and what CWI stands for. And we're proud to say that we have 5 fellows as of today from Hong Kong. And we do look forward to continue to support more women social impact entrepreneurs from this vibrant city.
Well, congratulations. That was an incredible video, really, really impactful. And how exciting that we've had 5 fellows from Hong Kong. And I think the thing I loved about the video and the initiative is that you're not just tackling the funding issue that we've talked about, but other challenges facing women entrepreneurs, including increasing visibility, supporting business growth, enhancing personal development, boosting self-confidence. So I think that's very, very clear from the video that it's really holistic. So Megan, you are one of the CER Women's Initiative Fellows from Hong Kong. So exciting. So how has being a fellow impacted your journey as a female entrepreneur? Tell us a bit about that journey.
So thank you, Cartier. Thank you. I think exactly what they've just shown us, exactly what's on the tin, because I think one of the toughest things, I know Queenie and I just shared just a tiny, tiny sliver of all the challenges that we face. But the first thing, first of all, it was the grant funding. It was capital without a bunch of strings attached to it that I think maybe some programs out there might have. You might have to jump through certain hurdles to get through, to get X amount of dollars. The community aspect has been incredible as well, not just in terms of, working on business problems together, being in the same room. Cartier funded us to go to INSEAD, one of the top business schools in the world in France. And yes, we did have one of the top professors in the world standing there in front of us, but each and every single woman who was surrounding me, sitting in the seats around me, they were also, my professors, and also, getting to know them better, my emotional and social support as well.
Amazing.
So I'm incredibly grateful.
That's great. And Queenie, I know you attended the CER Women's Initiative Week this year. What are some of your key takeaways from the experience?
I really enjoyed my time the entire week there. It was absolutely an honor to meet all the impact change makers from all over the world. I get to speak to this year's fellow, Allison. She's the founder of Respark that creates this immersive music program for people for elders with dementia. And I have friends who are all Cartier CWI's fellows, and which made me really proud because of all the work that they're doing today. And having spent the week there really opens up my perspective on impact design and impact creation. When you see all these amazing female-led entrepreneurs at the same location, everybody shares so much passion. We have nonstop conversations. I had the opportunity to attend the I Am Remarkable workshop, which is an amazing program that helps us to celebrate our own personal achievements and success. We should be giving ourselves more credit in the work that we do every day. And being able to be in that situation and that environment really inspires me to do more as an impact designer. And I'm very grateful, and especially having this network and resource to connect with people who are very like-minded and also be able to, potentially work together to amplify our work locally and globally.
Amazing. Well, what inspiring sharing, and what just a great, fantastic environment. And as I think we've seen from the CER Women's Initiative, it's the comprehensive support from knowledge building to mentorship. And Maya, tell us a little bit more about that, about some of the details of the initiative.
Yeah, of course. So further to what Queenie and Megan just shared just now, I'd like to sum up what's also shared in the video. So the CWI is actually an annual international entrepreneurship program open to women-led business that aims to have a strong and sustainable social or environmental impact. From what you heard just now, sometimes financial can be challenging. So one of our grant funding is now up to $2 million US per edition now to support our fellows. And our fellows will have a lifelong access to a community of a global network of more than 800 passionate leaders, including mentors, coaches, and fellows, what you just heard as well just now. And finally, the program offers a one-year fellowship program, including the INSEAD business program that you mentioned just now.
Yeah, amazing. So from what you've said, there's really 4 key phases of the CER Women's Initiative, the annual fellowship program. So the first is capacity building workshops, which support and enhance communication skills. Then the in-person executive education at INSEAD, which is incredible to enhance knowledge in managing, scaling, impact, finances. Customized training based on individual needs. And then fourth, leadership capacity executive coaching and well-being support, which I thought was just, incredible. How important are all of these together in terms of the balance of what's being provided, Maya?
Well, from our observation, women impact entrepreneurs often have a very strong purpose that they would like to pursue. And with financial support, the right type of exposure, their business will certainly thrive. This is why we see mentorship, coaching, community support is critical to ensure the business growth and also for these entrepreneurs to bring about positive changes around the world.
Yeah, amazing. I'd like to ask each of you how maybe one example of an innovative way that women-led businesses are addressing societal challenges. I mean, we're talking about impact entrepreneurs, and you've touched on some of the impact and the purpose-led businesses, and to create sustainable solutions. And perhaps, Queenie, Megan, you've talked about a couple of examples from your own businesses. Love to hear more about that and anything else that you're seeing as well. Megan?
I feel like I could just go on the CWI website and just rattle off a huge, huge list. So if you're an investor and you're saying that there isn't enough pipeline, let me tell you that website is the water. I think one that really stuck out to me from the recent Shenzhen ceremony, the CWI one, I sat on the bus with a lady called Mira Namath, and her company is called Biophilica, and they create textiles and leather alternatives from fallen leaves and raw compostable materials. And I think it was I was just blown away. In the same breath she was talking about all her professional and business accolades, she also told me that she was like a new mom at the same time.
Wow.
So I think big bravo to her. She doesn't have, I think she was telling me that she has a fashion background as well, and then moved and pivoted into material science simply because she was she's passionate, but it was also coupled with this, unwavering need to problem solve that I think that we all share.
Yeah, okay, great, interesting. And I love how you picked up on that. It seems like you all have this unwavering need to solve problems, to contribute to society, which is fantastic. Queenie?
Yes, I have met so many wonderful female entrepreneurs, whether from CWI or every day. I have friends here who are doing impact design, and I think one thing that they're doing, not so innovatively, but very critical, is that not only are they taking things personal, so they're very hands-on, they do everything themselves, they are living and breathing the values of their purpose and their brand, but more importantly is that they're bringing the community together through education. And I think that's one key to creating successful social innovation or to amplify the work that we are currently doing. And when we think about what we do on a day-to-day business, we are living and breathing everything that we believe in. And I think it's so important that we female entrepreneurs, we come together and we support each other.
Amazing. And Maya, you must have seen so many through Cartier over the years. Tell us what's one that sticks in your mind.
That's a very difficult question for me.
I won't be offended.
So beside the two lovely impact entrepreneurs next to me, and amongst the whole list, there are many of them that are wonderful and great, but due to time, if I may just share one example. It's from one of our CWI fellows. Her name is Xintong Du. She's the CEO and founder of Voice Changer, So where she found that was addressing this pressing issue in China, where 29 million children are facing speech problems. So the voice changer has actually helped them to train more than 1,300 speech therapists and offering therapy, rehab, and accelerated recovery for those young people that are in need. So what better way, I mean, to me, what better to create a sustainable solution than by making healthcare accessible and affordable?
Yeah, amazing. I do encourage everyone, I think as you said, Megan, to please go to the CER Women's Initiative website and read all these incredible stories of these impact entrepreneurs. And I think today we're talking, you're challenging and supporting people around mental health, elder care, and the speech therapy example that you've raised is fantastic, accessible healthcare. Just turning to, well, thinking for the future and that community aspect that we talked about. In what ways can women entrepreneurs collaborate and support each other to co-create more inclusive and purpose-driven ecosystems? And I guess for Megan and Queenie, what do you need more of, or what are you looking for in terms of support, and then just generally the ecosystem? Megan?
Oh, I think sometimes I think it's more of a reminder than empowerment, because I think sometimes we forget. We forget how awesome we are. So I think a slight reminder to our fellow counterparts would be really helpful, and just a reminder that sometimes that there are pre-written narratives for us that don't serve us. One example is that there's a research study. There's a professor called Professor Dana Kans from the London Business School, and she does a lot of work in understanding gender bias and differences, particularly in funding. And there are things, when I say pre-written narratives, one example is, for example, if you're pitching a VC, regardless of whether they're male or female, and they ask very promotive questions, so very like future, big vision questions for male founders, but more risk adverse or more, more preventative, more risk adverse questions for female entrepreneurs, then we can also, when we know that, we can also turn that around and know, well, maybe I'll just answer and put my promotive story forward. So to better advocate for ourselves and to remind the people around us as well. We have the pen in our hands and we can write our own story.
Yeah, amazing. Really great. Queenie?
I am a big believer in collective impact. For me, I'm already working with a number of impact designers. They have amazing female and male entrepreneurs, and we admire each other's work. And I think this is the great thing about working together and creating amplified impact. That is, we are able to recognize each other's strengths and each other's the work that we do, especially the value on society and on environment. And more importantly is that we have this openness to collaborate, work together, and weave in our commitments together to create bigger impacts. And that is how I think we could create systematic change. That is by working together. And I'm very honored and very grateful that I have this network of support and friends to be able to create the change that we want to see.
I totally agree with you. I believe that it's really empowering when you're surrounded and in company of people with a similar journey, and also especially when they make a mark in different parts of the world, just like the two of you.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much, Maya. And we understand that the CER Women's Initiative also does a lot of work in connecting fellows into that entrepreneurial ecosystem globally, and also the investment ecosystem to support access to support and funding, which is fantastic. And talking about the initiative, what's coming up? What's in store for the CER Women's Initiative? What are the future milestones coming up?
Well, I'm thrilled to highlight that, to share that we'll have two important initiatives in the pipeline next year. So the first one, we'll be pleased to be hosting another edition of CWI Impact Awards in 2025. Second is karate. We're very proud to have been selected to present the Women's Pavilion at Expo 2025, Osaka, Japan. This is a continuation of the Women Pavilion at the Expo in 2020 Dubai, which was the first Expo in 50 years to have a standalone Women Pavilion dedicated to women and their achievement. So the mission of the Women Pavilion, it's really to create a legacy for future generations and also to draw wisdom from communities worldwide.
Amazing. So lots coming up next year in 2025, and I guess a reminder to everybody to look out for the next installment opening up of the awards. And hopefully there's a lot of female entrepreneurs in the audience that can get inspired by that. So please do look out for it. We're coming towards the end of our discussion, but what's one last piece of advice that you want to share with our audience today on how we can continue to empower women entrepreneurs, particularly on their purpose-led businesses? Megan, I'm going to start with you.
Advice?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Maybe what got you started, first of all?
What
Any advice for budding entrepreneurs in the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I guess like one advice is, I understand that it's personal. Like Queenie said, like we're sleeves rolled up. It's personal for us sometimes. But just to remember sometimes that you are not your business. Sometimes we get intertwined with it. We have to really take care of our mental health. Not just saying this because I'm the mental health person, but we also have to think about, as we're thinking about business impact and sustainability, we also have to care about our own mental health and sustainability along this journey as well.
Yeah, so key. That's incredible. Queenie?
I'm going to reference a proverb which I read, which I love. So if you want to go fast, you go by yourself. If you want to go far, you go together. So for me, as a big believer in creating collective impact, I think in order to really drive that systematic change, really create movement in the way we behave or in the way that we think, changing our mindsets, it really requires time, and it also requires, the sense of collective effort in working together and driving towards that purpose. So for me, I look forward to the next 5 to 10 years, really look forward to working with all the female entrepreneurs in driving this collective impact together.
Amazing. Thank you. Maya?
And for myself, I won't say much of an advice, but then I would say for those all of you out there, if you have any great business plan in mind with a great purpose, do look out for a CWI application next year. We would love to continue to be the empowering energy in Hong Kong and to encourage more women impact entrepreneurs in this city and to join our community.
Great. Thank you very much. Well, as we wrap up today's discussion, I'd like to remind the audience that the CER Womens Initiative continues to evolve, and it will continue to evolve in the years ahead. And it was very interesting to see that you had a Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Award, and to see that evolution that you went through in the video. So do look out for that incredible work. And please, if you are an entrepreneur or you have a friends who are an entrepreneur, please do look out for the next edition of the awards. Get in touch with our speakers here and be inspired. So please join me in thanking our speakers today, Maya, Megan, and Queenie. Thank you.